Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi says he'll take action against Parktown Boys High School within 48 hours. Lesufi says information has emerged now showing negligence on the school's part that led to the death of 13-year-old learner Enoch Mpianzi. The school has been under pressure to release details surrounding Mpianzi's death during a school orientation camp at Brits in the northwest last week. Lesufi says they're waiting for police to verify the information. Meanwhile, it's emerged that a learner who was also at the camp has told the family what happened on the day Mpianzi died. It's believed fellow learners told teachers present that Mpianzi had been swept away by the fast-flowing Crocodile River, but this information was allegedly ignored. Lesufi says officials have moved that learner from the school to ensure his protection. EFF leader Julius Malema is visiting the family of Enoch Mpianzi of Parktown Boys High to convey condolences. Let's cross live to that, where Enoch's grandfather is speaking to Malema.
Everybody scattered in the yard, in the field, looking for the boy. I could see others coming with the small drones. We went to the river. There were people who knows how to swim or to search with cameras, and ourselves looking with naked eyes, crying the name of the boy if he could respond from somewhere. Until around 10, we've been alerted by the police officers who were with us on the site around the river that this is a crime scene. So they were calling for their colleague to bring the tape, danger tape, so that they can secure the site already at 10. While the end of the child was still unknown, we obeyed to vacate the land and to vacate the river area to come back to the guest house. When we reached the guest house, I applied that we wanted to walk the 8 kilometers children have undertaken last night, so that all around we can be checking for our son. We've been told by the staff management of the school that it would be wise for us to go accompanied by the dog unit, which was a good suggestion because the dog, by the smell, could be helpful. So we were waiting for the dog unit to come. When somewhere around 11, the MC of education, who was with us on the guest house, approached me. Uncle, I received a call from those who are in the search operation in the river that the cameras have seen, tracked something under the water, which might be a piece of tree, a metal piece, or a human being. No precision at that stage. We hold on, waiting then for them to pull that thing out. Around 11 or past 11 on Friday. Some minutes later, the MC came and confirmed that it was human body which has been pulled out of the water. And he asked us to have good courage to go finally identify the body. Then we started crying. Until we walked there, I was called to identify. With no pain, I could recognize the face of my great son. He grew up here. Then the mother applied to see, because that was the purpose of our going there. There were a lot of discussions. They said it's not allowed to show the body before taking it to the mortuary for arrangement before anyone can see. So as grandparent, you have seen that can't be enough. The mother said, no, he's my son. You told us that he went missing. I am there. Let me confirm if it's him. Dead or alive, I am here. Probably he is dead. Finally, they accepted, and she approached it. I was holding her so that she could not be very emotive. She recognized also without pain. Then, after that, we conclude that Enoch is dead in the water, according to the report the MSc of Education gave us. But we did not participate on the pulling out of the thing which were trapped in the water. We've been just taken. So to say that we did not see how the thing is being pulling out of the water, but we just went to see what was the thing is a human body somewhere in the world. From there, the Northwest Forensic Services were already there with the car to load the body, and we traveled toward Brett's mortuary where the father signed the forms, and we left the body on the demand of the forensic services for further legal services. They promised to come back to us last Tuesday or today, Wednesday. Luckily, when the lawyers of human rights, which we approached as a family, to look for support and guidance, to go through the processes, after we met with him before yesterday, he decided that he will organize a trip that side in which the parents have to be with him absolutely. That's why we failed to welcome you yesterday, because the parent went with the Excellency Human Rights High Authority. So they traveled there for him to see what he could see, confirm some of the facts, and they come back. So today, here you are. While they were there, the father received a call because he left his detail to the mortuary that he could collect the body. He has the number of the Dove funeral services in Bramfontein, where we've been for quotations of some of the operation while we have no direction on what to do, luckily. And he alerted that funeral house that the body is available. Maybe they had a correspondence service that side. They managed to evacuate the body, which arrived yesterday at Bramfontein at the Dove. So the child is already here. The burial is not yet being done. We are happy to welcome you among us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Uncle and members of the family, the father and the mother. We heard of this terrible news, and we were all in a state of shock. Because when children go on a camp, we expect them to make friendships, to develop a bond, so that when they come back to school to learn, they are not strangers to each other in an academic environment. So, like all children, we had expected that Enoch will come back.
Yes.
And that is what we wanted, because the school should take full responsibility for every single child who undergoes such trips. And we still don't get proper answers from the school. we still don't get proper answers from the MEC. We are happy that the MEC was there.
Yes.
But public relations is not enough. Because when the kids go on a camp, it's a simple procedure. When they come back, there should be a head count and a roll call. And Enoch's missing should have been identified with immediate effect. And there's no clarity as to why it took so long. Why it even took a child to identify that a friend is missing. So meaning both the adults at the resort, in the school, have neglected those children. And therefore, someone should take full responsibility. So when we saw the Human Rights Commission intervene, we were happy. But when they started playing tricks, questioning the Human Rights Commission's responsibility in the whole affairs, then we knew that they are up to something. Because now the story is, what is the Human Rights Commission doing in the whole matter? Where do they come in? So it means the role of the Human Rights Commission is going to be debated before we even get into the real issues. And as a result, we in the EFF have taken a decision to assemble a legal team, which is yours. It's not the Human Rights Commission. No one can ask any question about it. The Ian, Advocate Ngai Toby, and Advocate Senior Counsel Lawrence Wodes are on standby, willing to intervene as family lawyers. And you don't have to pay anything for that. They volunteered themselves and said, we want to help. The Human Rights Commission can be there. They've got all the right to be there. But the family has to have its own lawyers, which you can give instructions and there won't be any form of restrictions or anyone questioning them as to, hey, this is our taxpayers' money, what are these ones doing, and all of that. So these lawyers, the family, uncle, the father can do your own independent investigations about them. They are the top lawyers in South Africa. Lawrence Wodes in crime and Nogai Toby, very strong in constitutional law. So we want to bring all elements together to make sure that this young man doesn't die in vain, because it's not the last one. He will not be the last one, because if we don't attend to it, they will continue to neglect our children. Yes. So personally, when I heard of it, I'm a father of 3 boys. One of them was in a camp. I was extremely scared because we are not there. We don't know. We think we have left them in the hands of capable people, but only to find out that at some point our children were on their own. We will also, in the legislature, in parliament, make sure that we hold the Department of Education accountable, and the school in particular should be held accountable, because that school's reputation is degenerating extremely, and therefore it means there is something wrong in that particular school. Year in, year out, there's a story about that particular school, and therefore we have a responsibility to make sure that we restore that school to its former glory, where everybody can be proud. And we can only do that if someone takes full responsibility. The heads must roll. Someone should be held accountable, and that's what we are here to make sure. We are here to give you the support. We are not here to do anything. We will hear from you. You are not going to hear from us. You will tell us, where do you need support? And we are not party in government, we are an opposition. Therefore, we have no business in covering up anything. We are in the business of exposing any shenanigans and anyone who wants to cover up anything. So we want to push this matter and make sure that we get to the bottom of it. What is even more interesting for us is that you are an African family in this country where people think that you can't get some form of an assistance, and they want to treat you as foreigners in your own country, South Africa, in Africa. And we want to assure you that you will enjoy all the rights that are enjoyed by everybody in this country. And therefore, no one is going to take advantage of you and think that they can just overlook this matter. It will die a natural death and we continue with our own lives. We're not going to allow that. We lost the future of this family, the future of this country, the future of our continent. And therefore, we must make sure that he becomes the last person to be lost in a manner we lost. The funeral arrangement, Uncle, you've got the contact of our representative. If anything you need us to help with, don't hesitate. We are here to make sure that the young man gets a dignified send-off. We will not bring him back. The least we can do is to give him a dignified send-off and make sure that justice is done. And we are here to assure you that South Africans are fully behind you. And in this case, black and white, all of South Africans have now come together and said a nonsense like this should never be tolerated by any of us, irrespective of political affiliation, color, religion, or any other matter. We must all unite and make sure we put a stop to this form of negligence, which the school will still have to account. We thank you, Uncle, for being strong and the family, and for making sure that you follow up this matter and it doesn't die a natural death. We are here to make sure that indeed justice is served. Any form of preparations, we're happy that you have now managed to take the body into a closer place, and you've got service providers who will take care of other arrangements. The rest of other things we may not want to talk about them here. Our representatives are here. Feel free to talk to them. Anything will be able to provide you with that type of an assistance. And I want to thank the Human Rights Commission for zooming in swiftly into the space and making sure that this matter receives the attention it deserves. We also thank the MEC for being there, for making sure that indeed the country is informed of what are the developments. Very few authorities respond in a manner he did. They might have their own witnesses, but the MEC acted responsibly. And we want to celebrate him for that, for being there with the family, for making sure that indeed attention is paid to detail.
And so we come out of that EFF visit to the Mpianzi family, the Julius Malema, the CIC of the EFF, just basically saying that the EFF stands there to support the family, even around funeral arrangements. They're willing to assist the family so that Enoch can have a dignified send-off when they do get round to burying him. And so we conclude teaching and learning at Nontlevu Secondary